Well, hello there. Welcome to this instructional video of This is Merging, where we will cover how to work with runtime versions inside the tool. My name is Jose Castro, and I am a Microsoft Dynamics NAV developer and also the creator of this tool. Before we start, I must say that everything on this video is also covered by the documentation included in the package you can find on codefornav.com/tim, as you can see on the bottom side of this PowerPoint slide. With that being said, let's get started, shall we? In this video, we will learn what a runtime version is and why they are important inside This is Merging, how to add a new runtime version inside TIM, and last but not least, we will see some good practices that will make defining runtime versions a fast and painless process. So what are runtime versions and why are they important? Software in general and NAV specifically are constantly evolving, releasing new versions of the same product with bug fixes or improvements. In NAV, this means that every time a new version is released, a new set of files to make it work is usually required. This is Merging is a tool that can work with different NAV versions. It is only natural. In our merging projects, we have to work with different sources, and those sources are rarely from the same exact NAV version. It's for this reason the team can work with different versions, and to do so it needs to know what files belong to what version. This is done by defining runtime versions inside TIM. So now that we know the general idea, let's see some specifics. TIM, in order to work, needs to have located 3 different files from each NAV build or version. These prerequisites are the administration commandlets located inside the nav admin tool.ps1 file. This file can usually be found in the service folder. Also, the development commandlets located inside the nav model tools.ps1 file. This file can usually be found in the role tailored client folder. And last, the development environment, which is the finsql.x file. This file can also be usually found in the role tailored client folder. So before we start defining the runtime version in TIM, it is very important to have located those components on the computer where TIM is installed. The steps we must follow to add a new runtime version are to go to the TIM runtime versions page, to add a new record defining the mandatory fields, and optionally unblocking the files when needed. Let's see the process. For that, I will first open the RTC client. And once it's open, I will go to This is Merging, TIM runtime versions. In my case, I already added a runtime version. This process is as easy as editing the list, giving it a code, a description if you want, the version that is based on, the path where the navadmin tool.ps1 is, path where the same object but for the development part is, and also the path of where the finsql for the development environment is. If you want to add another one, you just create a new record and repeat the process. Now, before we finish, I would like to cover some good practices when working with runtime versions inside TIM. First, I would like to say that TIM is intended to also work as a centralized point of code for the different versions of NAV, updates, etc. But this requires a lot of constant work to keep it up to date with the latest releases. So when it comes to runtime versions, it includes a functionality especially designed to make this process easier and faster. To exploit the full power of this functionality, there are 2 things we can do. The first is to download the latest NAV cumulative updates regularly. This one is obvious. And second is to keep an organized folder structure for all the runtime versions. This is because TIM will scan the default Microsoft Dynamics NAV installation folders for both the client and server. Doing this will allow you to use the one-click detection system of runtime versions. Let's see an example. In my case, you can see I only have one record in the runtime versions part of This Merging. But if I go to the folders, I can see that I have 2 installations for NAV 2015. First one belongs to the record we already have. The second one is a different build, a different runtime version, and I will need to add it here. In this case, this folder contains the service folder. If I go to find this build but for the RHEL-Tyler client, I will see I have a similar structure. In this case, I still have 8.0 dot and the build version, and inside I have the RHEL-Tyler client. As you can see, because I have this organized, all I have to do is come here and click on the scan for runtime versions. By doing this, I will see that a new record has automatically been created, and this record matches exactly the build that I hadn't added yet. You can imagine the power this has. All you will have to do when a new version is released is just copy and paste the folder that belongs to the service and paste it here, and the folder that belongs to the RHEL-Tyler client and paste it here with the extension of the build version. After that, all that's left is just scan again and your table will be automatically filled. And those are the things you need to know when working with runtime versions and this is merging. You will be able to find more interesting information and videos related to the product on codefornav.com/team. My name again is Jose Castro, and you can feel free to contact me by any method you see on the screen regarding this product. Thank you for your interest, and I will see you next time.